1. Encounter. Ding. Lung Yinshu pressed the internal line phone without lifting her head. How many times have I told you? No interruptions during meetings. President Lung, your takeout has arrived. Secretary Lin Xiaoyu's voice carried a hint of caution. I didn't order takeout. Lung Yinshu frowned, tapping her fingertips on the conference table twice. The executives sitting around immediately fell silent. But the delivery guy insisted it's your order, a taro boba milk tea, less ice, half sugar. A few stifled laughs immediately broke out in the conference room, only to stop abruptly under Lung Yunshu's icy gaze. Who doesn't know that the iceberg president of Lung Group only drinks black coffee and never touches such sweet drinks? Tell him to get lost. Lung Yunshu's red lips parted slightly, uttering 3 words. 5 minutes later, the door of the conference room was abruptly pushed open. Hello, your takeout. A young man in a bright yellow delivery uniform strode in, holding a cup of milk tea in his hand, his smile so bright it seemed to come with a built-in sunshine effect. The executives gasped. Is this delivery guy tired of living? Lung Yinshu slowly raised her head, her eyes like knives. Just as she was about to have security drag the person out, she suddenly heard a clear male voice. Why is this woman giving off cold air like my cold jade bed? Lung Yunshu's pupils contracted, her sharp gaze shooting towards the delivery guy. What did you say? The delivery guy looked bewildered. I didn't say anything. Your milk tea, please sign. Lung Yinshu was sure she had heard that voice, but the delivery guy's lips certainly hadn't moved. Even stranger, the voice didn't seem to enter through her ears, but sounded directly in her mind. Put on the table and get out, she said coldly. The delivery guy put down the milk tea. As he turned around, Lung Yinshu heard that voice again. This conference room is decorated like a mourning hall. No wonder everyone looks ashen. Lung Yinshu suddenly stood up. Stop. The delivery guy turned around, looking innocent. Anything else, ma'am? Lung Yinshu narrowed her eyes and walked closer slowly. As the distance shortened, the voice became clearer. Wow. She's even prettier up close. It's just her eyes look like she wants to kill someone. Her eyelashes are unscientifically long. They can't be fake, can they? She stopped about 2 meters away from the delivery guy, and his thoughts flooded in like a tide. If my salary doesn't arrive soon, I won't be able to pay next month's rent. Finishing this order should be enough to buy ribs. Huh. Why is she staring at me? Is there something on my face? Lung Yinshu suddenly realized an absurd fact. She could hear this delivery guy's inner thoughts, and it was only effective within a 3-meter radius. What's your name? She asked. Lu Xinghan. The delivery guy scratched his head. Ma'am, if there's nothing else. Lu Xinghan. Lung Yinshu interrupted him, a dangerous curve appearing at the corner of her mouth. When you were delivering the takeout just now, you spilled the milk tea on my Armani suit. Lu Xinghan's eyes widened. Impossible. I never. 80,000 yuan. Lung Yinshu said slowly, pay for it. She deliberately dragged out the end of her sentence. Work for me to pay off the debt. The conference room was completely silent. The executives exchanged glances. President Lung's suit was clearly clean. Where did the milk tea stain come from? Lu Xinghan's inner thoughts exploded. Is this a scam? 80,000. Even if you sold me, I wouldn't be worth that much. Wait, could she be interested in me? Even though I am incredibly handsome. Lung Yinshu almost choked on her own saliva. Work? What exactly would I be doing? Lu Xinghan asked cautiously. Personal assistant. Lung Yinshu's expression didn't change. Monthly salary is 10,000, includes food and accommodation. The compensation will be deducted from the salary. The inner voice channel exploded again. 10,000? That's way better than delivering food. Wait, what does includes accommodation mean? She's not planning to, well, take advantage of me, is she? Even though she really is drop-dead gorgeous. A vein throbbed on Lung Yinshu's forehead. It's just the literal meaning. The company has employee dormitories. Lu Xinghan was startled. I didn't say that out loud. Your expression was too obvious. Lung Yinshu lied without batting an eyelid. Sign a contract now. Half an hour later, Lu Xinghan stood in front of the Lung Group building, clutching the freshly minted labor contract, still feeling as though he were dreaming. The contract terms were practically tyrannical. 24-hour standby, unconditional obedience, breach of contract penalty up to $1 million. Did I just sell myself? He muttered to himself. Meanwhile, in the CEO's office on the 28th floor, Lung Yinshu was repeatedly watching the surveillance footage. It clearly showed that Lu Xinghe had not spoken the words she heard at any point. Interesting. She took a sip of the forgotten taro boba milk tea, surprised to find it tasted quite good. The next morning at 7, Lu Xinghe, wearing an ill-fitting cheap suit, stood in front of Lung Yinshu's mansion. After pressing the doorbell for the 10th time, he finally heard footsteps inside. The door opened, revealing Lung Yinshu in a silk bathrobe, her long hair slightly disheveled, a stark contrast to her usual elite image. Lu Xinghe's inner voice instantly erupted. Holy crap! Is this something I get to see for free? Those collarbones, those legs, this. Wait, what's she holding? Lung Yinshu raised a frying pan in her hand. If you dare to fantasize about me in your head again, I'll use this to smash your skull in. Lu Xinghe's face turned pale. How did you know? I guessed. Lung Yinshu turned and went inside. Follow me, new assistant. Today's schedule is packed. Lu Xinghe followed her nervously, his mind racing. She definitely has telepathy. No, how could there be telepathy in this world? She must be a micro-expression expert. I need to control my thoughts. Think about math formulas. Pi 3, 141, 59266. Lung Yinshu's lips curved slightly. It seemed this experiment subject would be more interesting than she had imagined. In the following days, the employees of Lung Group were shocked to discover that the Ice Queen CEO had gained a sunny and handsome young assistant. And even more surprisingly, CEO Lung seemed to have become more prone to smiling. CEO Lung, here is today's report. The finance director handed over the document, accidentally brushing against Lung Yinshu's fingers. Lu Xinghe's inner voice immediately sounded. This old bald bastard dares to cop a feel. I'll find a chance to put laxatives in his coffee. Lung Yinshu lightly coughed to hide her smile. Thank you, just put it here. During lunch break, Lu Xinghe was surrounded by several female colleagues in the employee cafeteria asking for his WeChat. From a distance, Lung Yinshu heard his inner voice. Tsk tsk. Even though I'm quite popular, my heart already belongs to CEO Lung. Wait, what am I thinking? She deliberately walked over. Assistant Lu, come with me for a moment. After closing the door, Lu Xinghe's inner voice was in chaos. Alone together. What does she want? She's not really going to. Well, take advantage of me, is she? Should I go along or not? Actually, it wouldn't be a loss if I did. Lung Yinshu slapped a stack of documents onto his chest. Organize these materials. I want to see the analysis report before the end of the workday. Lu Xinghe's inner voice instantly deflated. It's just work. Seeing his dejected look, Lung Yinshu suddenly asked, what do you think of me? Lu Xinghe was stunned. CEO Lung, you possess both beauty and wisdom. You are my role model. His internal thoughts, however, were completely different. Beautiful and sharp, but with a terrible temper, a poisonous tongue. A workaholic exploits employees. But why do I still find her so charming? Am I being manipulated? Lung Yinshu narrowed her eyes. Over time tonight. Why? Lu Xinghe wailed. Because your eyes are asking for a beating. Lung Yinshu turned around, but couldn't help but smile. This feeling of being able to hear his real thoughts was actually a little addictive. Lung Yinshu found Lu Xinghe's internal thoughts unexpectedly useful during business negotiations. CEO Lung, Jinsheng Group has already made the biggest concessions on this contract. Chairman Jin pushed up his gold-rimmed glasses, his smile hiding a knife. If we lower the price any further, we won't have any profit. Lung Yinshu lightly tapped the desktop with her fingertips, catching sight of Lu Xinghe standing behind her from the corner of her eye. As expected, his internal drama immediately began. Bullshit. This old fox told his mistress on the phone last time that the cost price could still be lowered by 30%. Wait, how did I know this? Lung Yinshu's eyebrows raised slightly. It seems her mind-reading ability had unexpected gains. Chairman Jin, her red lips slightly parted. I heard you recently bought a villa in Binhai Bay. How is the renovation going? Chairman Jin's hand trembled, and tea spilled on his tie. How did you know? So, Lu Xinghe's internal thoughts exploded. Holy hell. How does she even know this? Could she really have mind-reading abilities? No, gotta believe in science. Just a guess. Since Chairman Jean can afford a villa in Binhai Bay, surely the price of this contract. She pushed the contract back, can be lowered by another 30%. That's impossible. Chairman Jean slapped the table and stood up. Loosing his internal thoughts, broadcast live. It's over. The old fox is going to call the accountant to ask how to fake the books. Huh? Why am I so clear on the process of commercial fraud? Ultimately, the negotiation concluded with Lung Yunshu achieving a complete victory. In a car on the way back, she was in a good mood, admiring Lu Xinghe's troubled profile. CEO Lung. Lu Xinghe finally couldn't help but speak. Do you have some kind of special ability? Lung Yunshu's heart skipped a beat. Oh, it's like being able to see through people's thoughts or something. Lu Xinghe's gaze was shifty. I'm just guessing. His internal thoughts were incredibly clear. If she really has mind-reading abilities, then what I was thinking about yesterday when I was taking a shower. I want to die. The tips of Lung Yunshu's ears felt slightly warm, and she pretended to be calm. Assistant Lu, watch fewer sci-fi movies. She changed the subject. For tomorrow's negotiation with Xingyao Group, you will take the minutes. The next morning, at Lung Group's headquarters. Hurry up, the elevator's closing. Lung Yunshu held the door open button, frowning at the slow-moving Lu Xinghe. Lu Xinghe jogged in, his internal thoughts cheerful. CEO Lung is wearing a bodycon skirt today. I could play with these legs. Stop. Lu Xinghe, you're a serious assistant. Lung Yunshu's mouth twitched. Just as she was about to lecture him, the elevator suddenly shook violently and then stopped operating. What's going on? She instinctively grabbed the handrail. It might be a malfunction. Lu Xinghe pressed the emergency button, took out his phone. No signal. In the enclosed space, the two were less than half a meter apart. Lung Yunshu could clearly hear Lu Xinghe's accelerated heartbeat. And so fragrant. What perfume is she wearing? From this angle, I can see her eyelashes. What am I thinking? But it's really close. Her lips look so soft. Lung Yunshu's cheeks flushed, and she said sternly, Lu Xinghe. Here. Lu Xinghe snapped to attention. You. She was about to flare up when the elevator jolted violently again. Lu Xinghe instinctively reached out to protect her, cornering her. Their eyes met, their breaths mingled. Lu Xinghe's inner voice was deafening. I'm gonna die. This position is too ambiguous. But she's so light. Her waist is so thin. What am I thinking? But I really want to kiss her. Lung Yunshu's heart rate accelerated. And for a moment, she forgot to push him away. A mess. Lu Xinghe stammered. Don't be afraid. I've practiced martial arts. It's very safe. Who's afraid? Lung Yunshu feigned calm. You practice martial arts? It's an amateur hobby. Lu Xinghe's eyes flickered, but his inner voice betrayed him. 3 years at Shaolin Temple wasn't for nothing. Wait, why did I spill the beans? Just as Lung Yunshu was about to press further, the elevator suddenly returned to normal, and the lights came on brightly. The two quickly separated and straightened their clothes. About today, Lung Yunshu said without looking back as she walked out of the elevator, I'm docking half a month's bonus. What? Lu Xinghe wailed. Because. Lung Yunshu turned around, saw his wronged expression, and suddenly changed her mind. Forget it. Go buy 2 bubble teas, taro paste with bubbles, less ice, half sugar. Lu Xinghe's eyes widened. Don't you only drink black coffee? I like bubble tea now. Got a problem? Lung Yunshu raised an eyebrow. No. Lu Xinghe jogged away, his inner voice jubilant. She likes the bubble tea I'm buying. Does that mean? Lung Yunshu watched his cheerful retreating figure and unconsciously touched her burning ears. The company's logistics system suddenly crashed, and the executives were running around in a panic. Singles Day promotion is coming up. If logistics can't keep up, everything will be ruined. The operations director clutched his sparse hair. Lung Yunshu called an emergency meeting, only to see Lu Xinghe playing a game on his phone in the corner. Assistant Lu, she said coldly. Do you have any brilliant ideas? Everyone looked at this young assistant who supposedly relied on his looks to get ahead. Lu Xinghe looked completely bewildered. Me? His inner voice, however, was racing. Isn't this just the order-grabbing algorithm for delivery platforms? Cluster orders by area, dynamically assign riders. Wait, how do I know this? Lung Yunshu narrowed her eyes. Tell me about it. Under everyone's surprised gaze, Lu Xinghe haltingly proposed a logistics plan based on food delivery experience. Basically, divide the orders into blocks by delivery address, and then dynamically adjust delivery routes based on real-time traffic conditions. He finished speaking and was stunned himself. I was just making it up. No, the technical director stood up excitedly. This idea is absolutely brilliant. It's more flexible than our original system. Lung Yunshu looked at Lu Xinghe's blank expression, thoughtfully. Implement Assistant Lu's plan. After the meeting dispersed, Lu Xinghe stopped her. Ms. Lung, those words weren't mine. I know, Lung Yunshu said meaningfully. You made them up. She turned and left, hearing Lu Xinghe's confused inner voice. Who am I? Why'd I know these things? Did I lose my memory? Working overtime late into the night, Lung Yunshu found Lu Xinghe still in the office. Why aren't you leaving yet? She asked. Waiting for you. Lu Xinghe said as if it were obvious. It's so late, it's not safe. His inner voice, however, was, that stalker from last time hasn't been caught yet. I can't let Ms. Lung walk alone at night. Lung Yunshu felt a warmth in her heart, but retorted stubbornly. Nosy. The two walked to the underground parking garage, and indeed, they spotted a dark figure following them furtively. Ms. Lung, quick, get in the car. Lu Xinghe pulled open the door of a Rolls-Royce. A dark figure suddenly charged over, a cold gleam flashing in their hand. Watch out! Lu Xinghe pulled Lung Yunshu behind him, a swift spinning kick taking down the attacker. Lung Yunshu was stunned. What kind of amateur hobby was this? It was clearly professional-level combat skills. Security guards rushed over upon hearing the commotion and subdued the attacker. Still shaken, Lung Yunshu grabbed Lu Xinghe's hand. You, what exactly? Before she finished speaking, she suddenly heard an unfamiliar inner voice. Damn, I've exposed my skills. Gotta find a way to smooth it over. Lung Yunshu froze. President Lung? Lu Xinghe looked at her worriedly. Are you scared? Lung Yunshu snapped back to attention. She paused. Starting tomorrow, your salary will be increased to 20,000. Lu Xinghe's eyes widened. Huh, you don't want it? Yes, yes. Lu Xinghe nodded frantically, his inner voice suddenly clear again. I'm rich. I can get a new game console. Wait, why is she suddenly so nice to me? Could she really be falling for me? Lung Yunshu rolled her eyes. Don't overthink it. It's just a reward for saving. My Armani suit today. She got into the car, watching Lu Xinghe's silly, grinning reflection in the rearview mirror, a smile unconsciously curving up the corners of her mouth. This mysterious little assistant seemed more interesting than she had imagined. 3. Talent. President Lung. Lin Xiaoyu suddenly pushed the door open and rushed in. Bad news. The logistics system has crashed again. All 11 orders are stuck in the warehouse. The logistics center was in chaos. Hundreds of employees running around like headless flies. The system is completely down. The technical director grabbed his few remaining hairs. It will take at least 12 hours to recover. Lung Yunshu frowned. The promotion starts in 12 hours. If we can't ship the goods then, do you know how much Lungs will lose? Everyone present fell silent, struck by fear. Lu Xinghe weakly raised his hand. I have an idea. Everyone's gaze collectively turned to this little assistant who supposedly relied on his looks to get ahead. Speak, Lung Yunshu commanded. Lu Xinghe swallowed. Actually, delivery riders often encounter situations where the app crashes. At times like that, we would. His inner voice, however, was 10 times clearer than his spoken words. Just use WeChat groups to take orders. Divide the area into blocks. Create a group for each block. Let the warehouse managers be group admins, and the drivers join the groups to grab orders. Wait, why did I say we? I'm not a real delivery rider. No, I actually am. But why do I know so much? Lung Yunshu narrowed her eyes. Do, as Assistant Lu says. 3 hours later, the makeshift WeChat group logistics network started operating, and its efficiency was surprisingly higher than the original system. That's amazing. The operations director patted Lu Xinghe's shoulder. Xiao Lu, How did you come up with that? Lu Xinghe gave a dry laugh. Haha, from delivering food. His inner voice, however, was wailing, I'm finished. I've exposed myself again. President Long is definitely going to suspect me again. But why has she been staring at me so much today? Could she really? Impossible, impossible. She's an Ice Queen CEO. I'm just a food delivery guy. Lung Yunshu lightly coughed. Assistant Lu, you're working overtime tonight. Huh? Why? Lu Xinghe wailed. Because you were just slandering your superior in your thoughts. Everyone. Lu Xinghe. The water pipe in the employee dormitory burst. Lung Yunshu raised an eyebrow. Looking at the report from the administrative department, all employees at assistant level and above need to temporarily move out. Lin Xiaoyu nodded. Yes, President Lung. The repairs will take at least a week. The company has arranged hotels for the executives. What about little Lu? Lung Yunshu asked softly. Assistant Lu is also. No need. Lung Yunshu interrupted her. Let Assistant Lu stay at my place. What? Lu Xinghe, who had just entered the room, trembled, and the documents in his hand scattered across the floor. Lung Yunshu elegantly sipped her coffee. I have a spare guest room, and she gave Lu Xinghe a meaningful look. It's convenient for overtime. Lu Xinghe forced a smile externally, but his internal world was exploding. Cohabiting with CEO Lung. Will I even survive tonight? But her place must be huge. I wonder if there's a game console. Wait, what am I thinking? The priority is my life safety. That evening, Lu Xinghe nervously dragged his suitcase and stood in front of Lung Yunshu's luxurious mansion. The guest room is on the first floor, Lung Yunshu said without turning her head. Don't go upstairs. Don't enter my study. Don't. With a bang, Lu Xinghe tripped over the threshold, falling flat on the ground. His suitcase flew far away, and its contents spilled everywhere. Lung Yunshu turned around and saw several pairs of boxer briefs printed with cartoon patterns lying brazenly on her $1 million Persian rug. The air froze. Lu Xinghe's internal voice was dead silent. Let me die right now. Lung Yunshu suppressed her laughter. Clean this up. And then she pointed towards the kitchen. Make dinner. Make dinner. Lu Xinghe looked up. Didn't you write on your resume that you're skilled at cooking? Lung Yunshu raised an eyebrow. Or was that fake too? Lu Xinghe's internal voice started buzzing again. Oh no, that resume was just scribbled together. I only know how to boil instant noodles. Wait, I think I actually can cook? What is this muscle memory? Half an hour later, a steaming bowl of delicious plain noodles was placed before Lung Yunshu. She took a bite, her eyes lighting up. Not bad. Lu Xinghe scratched his head and smiled foolishly. It's like I suddenly remembered how. But his internal voice was full of confusion. What the hell? When did I learn to cook? This knife work is too professional. Could I have been a chef before I lost my memory? Lung Yunshu looked at him thoughtfully. Tomorrow for breakfast, I want jianbing guozi. Huh? I don't know how to. Lu Xinghe hadn't finished speaking, but his hands had already started moving to knead the dough. Okay, I think I know how again. The next morning, Lung Yunshu was woken up by the sound of water. She frowned and looked at the clock. 6:30 in the morning. Who would be showering at her place? Then she realized it was Lu Xinghe, and she could clearly hear his internal monologue again. This massage bathtub is amazing. Rich people really know how to live. Huh? This bottle of shower gel costs over 2,000. That's half my monthly salary. So much foam. Wow, this scent. Lung Yunshu's face darkened. This scoundrel was using her private bathroom. She stormed towards the bathroom and pushed the door open. Their eyes met. Amidst the swirling steam, Lu Xinghe stood stunned in the bathtub, still holding her ridiculously expensive bottle of shower gel. Ah! Both of them screamed simultaneously. Lu Xinghe scrambled to grab a towel, but slipped, falling forward. Lung Yunshu instinctively reached out to catch him, but was pulled down with him, and Lu Xinghe landed squarely on top of her. Time seemed to stand still. Lu Xinghe's internal voice was deafening. I'm going to die. I'm going to die. I'm definitely getting fired now. But she's so soft, so fragrant. What am I even thinking? But it was really close. There were still water droplets on her eyelashes. Lung Yunshu should have been angry, but somehow she wrapped her arms around him. Lu Xinghe was stunned. I said. Lung Yunshu pushed him away abruptly. Get out. 10 minutes later, the two, now fully dressed, met awkwardly in the dining room. Lu Xinghe served up a perfect jianbing guozi. General Manager Lung, breakfast. Lung Yunshu took it with a stern face, but heard his thoughts playing on repeat. I didn't mean it. I didn't mean it. Shut up. She took a bite of the jianbing guozi. It was unexpectedly delicious. I didn't say anything, Lu Xinghe said, feeling wronged. Returning home late from overtime, Lung Yunshu found Lu Xinghe standing furtively outside her door. What are you doing here? She frowned. Lu Xinghe was startled. General Manager Lung, how did you come from that way? I came out to take out the trash. But his thoughts were exceptionally nervous. That stalker is back again. Gotta find a way to keep General Manager Lung from going out alone. Should I tell her? No, she'll think I'm meddling. Lung Yunshu felt a warmth in her heart, but deliberately said coldly, Move aside. I need to go in. Just then, a dark figure suddenly rushed out from the shadows. Look out! Lu Xinghe pulled Lung Yunshu behind him in one motion, and at the same time sent the attacker's knife flying with a perfect roundhouse kick. Lung Yunshu was stunned. What kind of delivery guy had skills like that? More like a special forces soldier. The attacker scrambled up and lunged again. Lu Xinghe shielded Lung Yunshu while fending him off, but his thoughts made her not know whether to laugh or cry. This bastard is making my delivery late. Wait, I don't deliver anymore. Is General Manager Lung okay? This left hook doesn't have enough power. Wait, why do I know how to fight? Gotta deal with this guy first. In a few quick moves, Lu Xinghe subdued the attacker on the ground and tied him up securely with his tie. After the police arrived and took the culprit away, Lung Yunshu stood with her arms crossed. Explain? Lu Xinghe scratched his head. Delivering food? I often run into stray dogs. Lung Yunshu turned and went inside. Tonight, I'll make an exception and let you sleep in the second-floor guest room. Huh? What? Lu Xinghe was dumbfounded. To make it easier to protect me, Lung Yunshu said without turning her head, a slight smile secretly playing on her lips. Lu Xinghe's thoughts suddenly exploded. Second floor, closer to General Manager Lung's bedroom. What am I thinking? General Manager Lung trusts me so much. Did she just smile? No, I must be seeing things. Listening to his messy, chaotic thoughts, Lung Yunshu suddenly felt that having this clown around didn't seem so bad after all. At 3 in the morning, Lung Yunshu woke with a start from her sleep. From beside her ear came Lu Xinghe's clear thoughts. General Manager Lung, don't steal my milk tea. She sat up abruptly and grabbed the alarm clock from her bedside table. 3:17 a.m. At this hour, Lu Xinghe should have been sound asleep in the second-floor guest room, but his thoughts were drilling straight into her mind as if they had been amplified. This taro boba tea is mine. General Manager Lung looks so cute in a maid outfit. Lung Yunshu's face instantly burned hot. She grabbed a pillow and threw it at the wall. Lu Xinghe, wake up! From next door came an immediate thud, followed by Lu Xinghe's panicked footsteps and cries of, What's wrong? What's wrong? His thought channel instantly switched to panic mode. Earthquake? Fire? Or is General Manager Lung finally going to kill me to silence me? Lung Yunshu, wrapped tightly in her bathrobe, had just stepped out when she ran right into Lu Xinghe rushing out of his room, shirtless and with bedhead. Their eyes met. Lu Xinghe's internal monologue exploded. Holy crap. Why is President Lung at my door? Am I still dreaming? Wait, I'm not wearing any clothes. Lung Yunshu turned around quickly, but she had already seen his lean abs and a scar on his shoulder. The scar had a strange shape, like left by a bullet. Put on some clothes, she said sternly, her ears burning red. And you're not allowed to dream of me. Lu Xinghe was dumbfounded. How did you know I dreamed of? I guessed. Lung Yunshu fled in a panic. Lu Xinghe's confused internal monologue coming from behind him. Could she really read minds? Impossible, impossible. That would be too fantastical. Back in her bedroom, Lung Yunshu buried her face in her pillow. This was it finished. She could even invade his dreams now. Had her mind-reading ability upgraded? In the Lung Corporation's conference room, the atmosphere was heavy. The cooperation deal with Tianxin Group fell through. The marketing director said dejectedly, They insist on a 51% controlling stake. Otherwise, it's off the table. Lung Yunshu frowned. What's Tianqing's trump card? Their newly developed intelligent logistics system, said to improve efficiency by 40%. Lu Xinghe was dozing in the corner, but his internal monologue was unusually active. Isn't it just a dynamic pathfinding algorithm plus AI prediction? I could write a better one with my eyes closed. Wait, why do I know this? Lung Yunshu's eyes lit up. Assistant Lu, what's your opinion? Everyone turned to look at this promoted by his face little assistant. Lu Xinghe snapped alert. Me? His mouth started spouting professional terms uncontrollably. Actually, you could develop a multi-objective optimization model based on deep learning, combined with real-time traffic data. The conference room fell silent. The technical director's mouth dropped open. This plan is at least 2 generations ahead of Tianqing's. Lu Xinghe himself was stunned. What did I just say? Lung Yunshu's lips curved slightly. Do as Assistant Lu said. Meeting adjourned. After everyone had left, Lu Xinghe stopped her. President Lung, those words weren't. You spouted nonsense, Lung Yunshu said meaningfully, just like last time when you solved the logistics crisis. Lu Xinghe scratched his head frantically. But I'm really a delivery guy. My resume is fake. I know. Lung Yunshu cut him off, but you really do know these things. She stepped closer, just like you know martial arts, know multiple languages, no? Lu Xinghe's internal monologue was a mess. It's over, she found out. But even I don't know what's going on. Did I lose my memory? Was I brainwashed? Or... Lung Yunshu suddenly reached out and touched the scar on his shoulder. How did this happen? Lu Xinghe stiffened all over, delivering food. Fell. His internal monologue, however, was much more honest. This is clearly a gunshot wound. But where did I get a gunshot wound? Who exactly am I? Lung Yunshu thoughtfully withdrew her hand. Come with me somewhere tomorrow. On the weekend, Lung Yunshu drove Lu Xinghe to a shooting club in the suburbs. President Lung. Lu Xinghe swallowed. You're not going to test your marksmanship. Lung Yunshu handed him a pistol. Can you handle it? Lu Xinghe's hand, however, moved as if it had memory, skillfully checking the firearm, loading and aiming. Bang, bang, bang. All 3 shots hit the bullseye. The club coach whistled, professional level. Were you in the military before, brother? Lu Xinghe's face went pale. My first time. His inner voice had collapsed. What the hell? Who the hell am I? Lung Yunshu nodded with satisfaction. Just as I thought. On the way back, Lu Xinghe was distracted. Lung Yunshu could hear his chaotic inner thoughts. Firearms, combat, business analysis. How is this a delivery rider's skill set? Could I be a spy? Or a fugitive? Stop thinking about it. Lung Yunshu interrupted his thoughts. What do you want to eat tonight? Lu Xinghe was stunned. Are you going to treat me to dinner? Why else? Lung Yunshu raised an eyebrow. To celebrate you successfully scaring yourself. Lu Xinghe's inner voice immediately became excited. Is this a date? Wait, does Miss Lung like me? No, she's just investigating me. But she looks so pretty today. Lung Yunshu's lips curved slightly. Hot pot. What? I said, we're having hot pot tonight. She turned the steering wheel. I know a place that has really good taro bubble tea. Lu Xinghe's eyes widened. How did you know I liked? Guessing. Lung Yunshu looked ahead, but couldn't hide the smile in the corner of her eyes. At the hot pot restaurant, Lu Xinghe looked at the spicy red broth and the dazzling array of ingredients before him. So moved he almost cried. It's been so long since I had such a feast. He mumbled softly. Lung Yunshu raised an eyebrow. Did the company treat you poorly? No. Lu Xinghe quickly waved his hands. It's just, while I was delivering food, I often only ate 1 meal a day. His inner voice, however, revealed more. When I was poorest, I couldn't even afford instant noodles, could only drink tap water. But why are those memories so blurry? Lung Yunshu's heart softened. She put a slice of beef in his pot. Eat more. Lu Xinghe was so overwhelmed that his hand trembled, knocking over the entire glass of beer. I'm sorry. He fumbled for napkins, but the more he wiped, the messier it got. Lung Yunshu sighed helplessly. Stop moving. She reached out to help him wipe, their fingers touching inadvertently. Lu Xinghe's inner voice suddenly became exceptionally clear. Her hand is so soft. I want to hold it so badly. No, no, Lu Xinghe, snap out of it. She's the CEO. You're just a fake assistant. But she's being so nice to me today. Lung Yunshu's ears fell hot. She pretended not to hear. Drink. After 3 glasses of beer, Lu Xinghe's face was as red as the chili in the pot, and he started talking more. Miss Lung, do you know? The first time I saw you, I thought you were especially. Especially what? Lung Yunshu raised an eyebrow. Especially fierce. Lu Xinghe grinned foolishly. Like our delivery station manager. No, like a queen. Lung Yunshu. His inner voice, however, was much more honest. Especially beautiful. Especially radiant, like a star. Oh, what sappy things am I thinking? After 2 more drinks, Lu Xinghe completely let loose. Miss Lung, I'll tell you a secret. He leaned in mysteriously. I might not be the real Lu Xinghe. Lung Yunshu's heart skipped a beat. What do you mean? I can't remember things from before. Lu Xinghe's eyes were hazy. Memories before delivering food are very blurry. It's like they were deleted. His inner thoughts were chaotic. Who am I? Where am I from? Why do I know those strange things? But it's not bad like this. At least I can see Miss Lung every day. Lung Yunshu's heart tightened. It seemed there was indeed a problem with his identity, but looking at him, he didn't seem to be aware of it himself. Stop thinking about it. She poured him a glass of warm water. Let's go home. When paying the bill, Lu Xinghe was already staggering drunkenly. Lung Yunshu helped him walk outside, hearing his intermittent inner thoughts. Like, Ms. Lung, really like. Her heartbeat suddenly accelerated. Back at the villa, Lung Yunshu took Herculean effort to get Lu Xinghe onto the sofa. So heavy. She panted, but then saw Lu Xinghe suddenly sit up, his eyes unusually clear. Ms. Lung, he said seriously, I have something I need to tell you. Lung Yunshu was taken aback. You aren't drunk. I am drunk, Lu Xinghe nodded, but some things must be said now. His inner thoughts were clearer than ever before. If I don't say it now, I won't have the courage. Lung Yunshu's heart pounded like thunder. What is it? Lu Xinghe took a deep breath. I might not be the person you think I am. I don't know who I am. I don't know why I can do those strange things. But he suddenly grabbed Lung Yunshu's hand. I know I like you, since the first time we met. Before he finished speaking, his head tilted and he collapsed onto Lung Yunshu's shoulder, asleep. Lung Yunshu froze in place. In her ears is steady breathing and gradually calming inner thoughts. Really like, Ms. Lung. She sighed softly, reaching out to smooth his furrowed brow. Silly boy. That night, Lung Yunshu, for the first time ever, did not return to her own bedroom, but stayed by the sofa all night. Listening to Lu Xinghe's steady heartbeat and occasional mumbled dream talk, she suddenly felt that perhaps who he was didn't matter. What was important was that he was by her side at this moment. 4. The auction. Assistant Lu, come with me to the auction tonight, she instructed without lifting her head. Lu Xinghe was biting into a sandwich and nearly choked upon hearing this. An auction? I don't know the first thing about antiques. Lung Yunshu raised an eyebrow. Oh, don't you know a lot? Lu Xinghe looked bewildered. Huh? What do I know about this? But his inner thoughts couldn't help but surface. If you really run into something good, you have to look at the glaze color, the body texture, the patina. But 90% of auctions these days are scams for suckers. Ms. Lung shouldn't get cheated. Lung Yunshu's lips curved slightly. It's fine, just follow along. Lu Xinghe. Oh no, she can't possibly be really counting on me to authenticate treasures, can she? I can't exactly say I judge the age of porcelain by the feel of takeout packaging, can I? At the auction site, celebrities and dignitaries gathered. Lung Yunshu sat down elegantly, while Lu Xinghe stood behind her like a bodyguard. His mind, however, was frantically barraging with thoughts like a live comet stream. First item for auction. A blue and white porcelain vase with lotus scroll design from the Ming Dynasty. The auctioneer enthusiastically introduced. This treasure comes from the official kiln of Jingdezhen. Its glaze is lustrous. The base mark is clear. The starting bid is 5 million. Just as Lung Yunshu was about to raise her paddle, she heard Lu Xinghe's inner thoughts. This clay body was clearly just microwaved last week. The glaze is so shiny you could use it as a mirror. If the Ming Dynasty could fire this kind of industrial glaze, Zhu Yuanzhang would jump up and yell technology, change his life. Lung Yunshu's hand paused, and she calmly put down her paddle. Second item for auction, a white Hatian jade carving of Guan Yin from the Qing Dynasty. The auctioneer, this jade is fine and warm. The carving is exquisite, and it has been identified by experts as a work from the imperial workshops during the Qianlong period. Starting bid 8 million. Lu Xinghe sneered inwardly. Did the experts use a magnifying glass? The carving lines are so stiff, it must be machine carved, right? And Qianlong period? If Qianlong were alive today, the first thing he'd do is drag that expert out and execute him. Lung Yinshu gave up bidding again. Third lot. Republic of China Famille Rose by Wabaludi tea set. The auctioneer. This tea set boasts brilliant colors, exquisite craftsmanship, and is extremely rare in existence. The starting bid is 3 million. Lu Xinghe was muttering wildly to himself. By Wabaludi, these colors are as bright as a primary schooler's watercolor pens. Genuine pieces' colors aren't this gaudy. Even fakes should show a little respect for basic chemistry. Lung Yunshu almost burst out laughing, suppressing her mirth, and gracefully raised her teacup to conceal her expression. Finally, the auctioneer brought out an unremarkable Yixing clay teapot and introduced it, saying, "This teapot has an antique shape. The clay is excellent, but the exact age is unknown. The starting bid is 500,000. Other wealthy individuals showed little interest, but Lu Xinghe's eyes suddenly widened dramatically. Holy hell! This clay, this patina, this is definitely an early work by Gu Jingzhou. It's practically disappeared from the market. 500,000? Is this auction house blind?" Lung Yunshu smiled slightly and raised her paddle. 1 million. The entire hall buzzed with surprise, and everyone turned to look. Another wealthy individual, unwilling to be outdone, called out, 5 million. Lung Yunshu calmly, 3 million. The wealthy individual gritted their teeth. 5 million. Lung Yunshu didn't even bat an eye. 5 million. The entire hall fell silent. The auctioneer excitedly brought down the gavel. Sold. Congratulations, President Lung. Lu Xinghe was cheering wildly internally. President Lung is amazing. The market price for this teapot is at least 20 million. What a steal. Lung Yunshu elegantly stood up and said softly to Lu Xinghe, "It seems you're not entirely useless after all." Lu Xinghe. In a luxurious car on the way back, Lu Xinghe was restless, constantly stealing glances at Lung Yunshu. Can she really read minds? No way, right? This isn't scientifically possible. But if not, how did she know that Yixing teapot was real? Lung Yunshu calmly flipped through the auction catalog, pretending not to hear. Lu Xinghe continued his wild speculation. Could it be she's actually a master antique appraiser? Or maybe she has a hidden master as a consultant? Or could it be she's actually a psychic? 5. Negotiation. Lung Group was negotiating a partnership with the Overseas Luxury Goods Group, LVM. Their representative was notoriously difficult to deal with. A Frenchman named Pierre, an elite who styled himself Napoleon of the negotiating table. Before the meeting, Lung Yunshu was flipping through the documents and asked calmly, "Assistant Lu, how do you think we should approach this negotiation?" Lu Xinghe was secretly eating a small cookie and almost choked upon hearing this. Huh? Me? I know absolutely nothing about luxury goods. His internal monologue, however, immediately kicked into high gear. LVM wants to trade their second-tier brands for Lung Group's first-tier channels this time, right? Do they really think President Lung is a pushover? Their Royal Exclusive series saw sales in Europe plummet by 40% last year, and now they're desperate to find the Asian market to bail them out. Lung Yunshu raised an eyebrow. Oh, so you think they have weaknesses? Lu Xinghe's face was blank. Weaknesses? How would I know anything about that? His inner voice continued its frantic analysis. This Pierre guy seems elegant on the surface, but he's actually really afraid of awkward silences. Last time during the Milan negotiation, As soon as the other side went silent, he voluntarily lowered the price. Also, he's particularly sensitive about people saying he doesn't understand the Asian market. That's his Achilles heel. Lung Yunshu smiled slightly. All right. Then just stand next to me later and don't say anything. Lu Xinghe. Great. I just need to be a vase. Wait. Why is President Lung smiling so terrifyingly? In the conference room, Pierre was in a crisp suit and began speaking in English with a strong French accent. President Lung, our cooperation will be a perfect fusion of Eastern and Western luxury. Lung Yunshu elegantly picked up her coffee cup and impassively listened to Lu Xinghe's real-time inner voice translation plus commentary. Perfect fusion? They just want to swap their overstock for our gold counters, don't they? And East-West cultural exchange? Talk about gilding the lily. Pierre continued to pontificate. Our royal collection is very popular with nobles in Europe. Lu Xinghe rolled his eyes internally. Popular with nobles? More like popular because the discounts were insane, right? The batch of jewelry they sponsored for the royal wedding last year. The bride wore it and immediately had an allergic reaction and was sent to the hospital. Lung Yunshu suddenly put down her coffee cup and interrupted calmly. Mr. Pierre, correct me if I'm wrong, but the sales of the royal collection in Europe plummeted by 40% last year, didn't they? Pierre's face froze. Well, Lu Xinghe roared with laughter internally. Ha ha, President Lung is awesome. Hitting him right where it hurts. But how did she know? Did the marketing department already investigate? Pierre forced a smile. President Lung, data doesn't tell the whole story, our brand value. Lung Yunshu smiled slightly. Brand value? But your marketing strategy in the Asian market last year was a complete failure. You didn't even consider basic cultural differences. Pierre instantly crumbled. That's impossible. We conducted very in-depth research on the Asian market. Lu Xinghe went on a wild inner rant. In-depth. Last year, their Lunar New Year ad used white gift boxes paired with chrysanthemums, and they hired an Indian model to shoot ads for traditional Chinese kipeos. They were ridiculed by the entire internet as cross-dimensional underworld aesthetics. Lung Yunshu followed up smoothly. For example, your white chrysanthemum gift boxes for the Lunar New Year last year? Pierre collapsed on the spot. That was artistic expression. Lu Xinghe stifled laughter until he felt internal injuries. Artistic expression. Netizens said that was the special set for visiting graves. President Lung even knows about that. She's incredible. The negotiation entered a stalemate, and Pierre began to use silence as a pressure tactic, his usual trick. The conference room was eerily quiet. Lu Xinghe went on a crazy inner rant. Here it comes, here it comes. This Frenchman is going to play the whoever speaks first loses game again. President Lung, don't fall for it. He's more desperate than we are. Their head office's deadline is only 3 days away. Lung Yunshu calmly flipped through documents, saying nothing. 30 seconds later, sweat appeared on Pierre's forehead. 1 minute later, Pierre began to twirl his pen unconsciously. 2 minutes later, Pierre finally couldn't hold back. President Lung, actually, we can discuss the price further. Lu Xinghe was overjoyed internally. Ha ha, his trick failed. President Lung is mighty. Lung Yunshu smiled slightly. Since Mr. Pierre is so sincere, let's rediscuss the profit-sharing ratio. Ultimately, Lung secured the partnership on terms 30% more favorable than anticipated. At the celebration banquet, company executives raised their glasses. President Lung is amazing. How did you even know LVMH's internal data? Lung Yunshu calmly sipped her champagne. You think I became president for nothing? Lu Xinghe stood nearby, inwardly stunned. President Lung was like she had supernatural insight today. Did she secretly hire a commercial spy? Or is she actually a hacker? The marketing director asked curiously. President Lung, how did you know, mister? Pierre was afraid of silence. Lung Yunshu glanced at Lu Xinghe. Observation. Lu Xinghe's internal brainstorming continued. Observation? How could a seasoned fox like Pierre easily expose his weakness? Could President Lung really have superpowers? No, I must believe in science. Just then, Pierre walked over and asked reluctantly, President Lung, may I ask how you saw through our bottom line? Lung Yunshu smiled slightly. Good luck. Lu Xinghe went on a wild inner rant. Good luck? This was clearly a dimension-reducing attack. President Lung was like she had the answers during an exam today. Did she secretly practice mind reading? Hold on. Did she possibly hear what I've been cursing her about in my head lately? No way, that's too fantastical. Lung Yunshu, suppressing laughter to the point of internal injury. The next day at work, Lu Xinghe decided to do an experiment. He stood at the entrance of Lung Yunshu's office, saying aloud, CEO Lung, you look really good today. Inside, he repeated wildly, I love CEO Lung. I love CEO Lung. I love CEO Lung. Lung Yunshu didn't even lift her head. Flattery won't work. You're still working overtime today. Lu Xinghe. See, she can't hear it. It must have been a coincidence yesterday. He breathed a sigh of relief. As he turned, he habitually complained internally. Wicked capitalist. All she knows is how to exploit me. Lung Yunshu. Assistant Lu, what did you just say? Lu Xinghe jumped. I didn't say anything. Lung Yunshu narrowed her eyes. Really? Lu Xinghe? Holy crap. She really can hear it. No way. It must be a coincidence. Yes, it must be a coincidence. He forced himself to stay calm. CEO Lung, you must have misheard. I was just thinking, this coffee is really good today. Lung Yunshu. Oh, but you're drinking tea. Lu Xinghe. I'm screwed. She can definitely read minds. Is it still time for me to resign now? Lung Yunshu watched his expression change back and forth, and finally couldn't help but laugh out loud. All right, go get to work. Lu Xinghe felt as if he had received a great pardon and slipped away, as if fleeing. His internal voice drifted from afar. From today onwards, I will silently recite the core socialist values in my heart. I absolutely cannot expose myself again. Lung Yunshu, laughing so hard she couldn't hold her document steady. 6 blind date. Cole mother called. Yunshu, young masterly from the Lee family, just came back from Cambridge. Why don't you two meet? Lung Yunshu was expressionless. Not interested. You're already 28. Cold mother was heartbroken. You have to go this time. The restaurant is already booked. It's a Michelin 3-star. After hanging up the phone, Lung Yunshu rubbed her temples. Lu Xinghe came in with coffee. CEO Lung, here's your latte. His internal voice uncontrollably floated out. CEO Lung is going on a blind date. Which poor soul is so unlucky? No, it's a blessing to be favored by CEO Lung. But given CEO Lung's personality, she'll probably freeze the other person into an ice sculpture, right? Lung Yunshu suddenly looked up. Assistant Lu, come with me to a dinner meeting tonight. Lu Xinghe's hand trembled. Huh? What kind of dinner meeting? A blind date. Lu Xinghe. Holy crap. CEO Lung is asking me to go with her on a blind date. Is she asking me to be a third wheel? Or is she using me as a human shield? Wait, could she be asking me to pretend to be her boyfriend? Lung Yunshu watched his ever-changing expression and slowly added, You are responsible for recording the key points of the conversation from his side. Lu Xinghe. So, I'm just a meeting minute taker. Got excited for nothing. Inside the Michelin restaurant, young Master Li Zian from the Li family was dressed in a suit and tie, looking refined and elegant. Miss Lung, I've heard a lot about you. He smiled and handed over his business card. I studied finance at Cambridge, and now I work in investment banking. Lung Yunshu nodded politely. Lu Xinghe stood aside, frantically complaining internally. What's with the act of being an elite? Listing so many titles on the business card. Afraid people won't know you're a trust fund kid? Cambridge financed my foot. Chances are his family donated a building to get him in. Li Zian was completely unaware that his true colors had been seen through, and was still talking volubly. I'm very interested in the Lung Group's business model, especially the supply chain aspect. Lu Xinghe continued his internal commentary. Supply chain? He probably doesn't even know how to write the word supply chain, does he? Last time his family's cosmetics factory made headlines for wage arrears. It was his dad who shelled out money to suppress it. Lung Yunshu suddenly spoke. Mister, Li seems to know the supply chain very well. How about you tell us why your Li Group's Southeast Asian factory suddenly closed last year? Li Zian's expression froze. That strategic adjustment. Lu Xinghe was roaring with laughter inside. Strategic adjustment, my foot. They were busted for using inferior ingredients and fined into bankruptcy. President Lung's question is brutal. Li Zian quickly changed the subject. Ms. Lung, what are your usual hobbies? Lung Yinshu, work. Li Zian. Lu Xinghe twisted the knife internally. It's over. President Lung has activated Topic Terminator mode. This guy probably won't last 3 rounds. To salvage the situation, Li Zian decided to showcase his sense of humor. Ms. Lung, you're so beautiful. There must be many people pursuing you, right? He blinked, but they're definitely not as outstanding as I am. Lu Xinghe nearly spat out a mouthful of old blood. What kind of cringy pickup line is this? Not as outstanding as I am. Does he think he's handsome? That face clearly looks like it's a work done. His chin is so sharp it could kill someone. Lung Yinshu calmly sipped her tea. Mr. Li is usually this confident. Li Zian completely missed the sarcasm and became even more smug. Of course, after all, I have the capital for it. Saying this, he deliberately displayed the limited edition Patek Philippe on his wrist. Lu Xinghe's internal monologue was a furious diss. Fake watch. Absolutely a fake watch. How could a real watch dial be so gaudy? And this idiot didn't even screw the crown tight. The waterproof function is useless. Lung Yunshu glanced at it. Mr. Li's watch is quite special. Li Zian thought she was impressed and became even smugger. It's nothing, just a little over 2 million. Lung Yunshu nodded. Yes, especially fake. Li Zian. Lu Xinghe was rolling on the floor, laughing internally. Ha ha ha. President Lung is mighty. Exposed him directly. But how did she know it was fake? Does President Lung also understand watches? Li Zian was enraged and embarrassed, deciding to deploy his ultimate move. Ms. Lung, he lowered his voice. Actually, a marriage alliance between our families is a win-win. My father said, as long as we get married, Li Group can invest 1 billion into Lung Group. Lu Xinghe instantly bristled. Invest 1 billion? Who are you kidding? Their cash flow is practically cut off. They were running around looking for bank loans last month. This is clearly an attempt to get something for nothing, relying on Lung Group to save them. Lung Yinshu put down her knife and fork and smiled slightly. Mr. Li, your Li Group's debt ratio already exceeded 80% last quarter, and your bank credit lines are used up. She leisurely wiped her mouth. What are you going to invest 1 billion with? Air. Li Zian's face instantly turned pale. You? How did you know? Lu Xinghe was dumbfounded. President Lung knows even this? This can't be explained by just business investigation. Did she plant a mole in Li Group? Lung Yinshu got up. Let's stop here for today. Li Zian wasn't giving up. Ms. Lung, just give me another chance. Lung Yinshu didn't look back. Assistant Lu, escort the guest out. Lu Xinghe immediately stepped forward. Mr. Li, please. But inwardly, he was thrilled. Serves you right. You wanted to show off. Trying to play the expert in front of President Lung. Now you've crashed and burned, haven't you? In the car on the way back, Lu Xinghe couldn't help but ask, President Lung, did you investigate the Li Group beforehand? Lung Yinshu looked out the window. Yes. Lu Xinghe sighed inwardly. President Lung truly plans ahead. But she was too cool today. The way she shut people down was totally awesome. Wait, why is my heart beating so fast? Lung Yinshu suddenly turned her head. Assistant Lu. Lu Xinghe jolted. Here. Help me order a bouquet of flowers tomorrow. Lu Xinghe. Flowers? Who are they for? Could it be that CEO Lung actually has a crush on Li Zian? No way. Lung Yinshu added calmly. For my mother, the card should say the introduction was very good. Please don't introduce anyone next time. Lu Xinghe. As expected of CEO Lung, she even shuts down her own mother. 17 building. Lin Xiaoyu, the company's HR director, rushed over excitedly with a proposal. CEO Lung, for this team building event, we've decided to go to a suburban resort with barbecue, escape room, and hot springs. Lung Yinshu looked up from her documents. Not going. Lin Xiaoyu was prepared, but all departments voted for it. Even Director Wang from the finance department said he's bringing his swim trunks. Lu Xinghe was tidying documents nearby, his inner voice going wild. Escape room? CEO Lung participating in an escape room? The scene is too beautiful to imagine. She'll probably freeze the NPCs into ice sculptures. Lung Yunshu suddenly turned her head. Assistant Liu, very much looking forward to it? Lu Xinghe's hand trembled, scattering documents everywhere. Huh? I just think team building is pretty good. But his inner thoughts were uncontrollable. I'm gonna die. CEO Lung isn't going to make me responsible for the planning, is she? The penalty games from the last annual meeting already gave me nightmares. Lung Yunshu's lips curved slightly. Then let's go. Assistant Liu will be responsible for my itinerary. Lu Xinghe. I knew it. At the resort's barbecue area, departments were grilling meat in groups. Manager Zhang from the marketing department eagerly came over. So, Lung, try the Wagyu I grilled. It was specially airshipped from Japan. Lu Xinghe stood nearby, complaining internally. Airship my foot. The packaging clearly says XX Fresh Supermarket Special Offer. This flatter, Lung Yunshu elegantly put down her chopsticks. Manager Zhang, maybe keep the supermarket special offer item for yourself. Manager Zhang's face instantly turned pale. Director Wang from the finance department quickly tried to smooth things over. So, Lung, about trying the lamb chops I grilled? Lu Xinghe continued his inner monologue. It's over. The meat director Wang grilled during the last team building event gave half the company food poisoning. CEO Lung Run. Lung Yunshu calmly pushed the plate away. Director Wang, I haven't signed off on last year's medical expense reimbursement forms yet. Director Wang. Lu Xinghe was dumbfounded. Is CEO Lung on fire today? How does she know everything? Did she secretly install surveillance? During the escape room session, Lung Yunshu was randomly assigned to Lu Xinghe's group. The staff explained the rules. The theme for this session is Ancient Tomb Treasure Hunt. You need to find within 60 minutes. Lu Xinghe listened attentively on the surface, but his heart was wailing. It's over. CEO Lung hates these kinds of boring games. Wait, she's not going to just dismantle the escape room door, is she? They're not going to deduct the repair costs from our salaries, are they? After the game started, Lin Xiaoyu, who was in the same group, was frantic at the combination lock. What do these Oracle Bone characters mean? Lu Xinghe understood instantly internally. These are clearly the three characters Shanhai Jing written upside down. The design team is too lazy. Before he could speak, Lung Yunshu had already pressed the combination box. Shanhai Jing. The box opened with a click. The whole group? Lu Xinghe was internally shaken. CEO Lung even understands Oracle Bone characters. Is she even human? Wait, she didn't sneak a look at the guy, did she? The next room required arranging the mechanisms according to the star map. His colleagues looked at the star chart on the ceiling, at a loss. Is this Scorpio? Lu Xinghe rolled his eyes internally. Do these people never look at the stars? This is clearly the Big Dipper. Turn the handle. Lung Yunshu had already raised her hand and turned the mechanism, the Big Dipper, handle facing east. The escape room door slowly opened. A colleague from the same group knelt down. President Lung, have you been here before? Lung Yunshu calmly shook her head. Intuition. Lu Xinghe. A woman's intuition is indeed terrifying. During the evening hot springtime, Lu Xinghe was soaking comfortably when he suddenly heard screams from the women's section next door. There's a mouse! The entire hot spring area instantly erupted into chaos. Lu Xinghe laughed wildly internally. Ha! It must be the hamster Little Zhang from logistics brought. Wait, President Lung is in the women's section. Just as he was about to rush out, he heard Lung Yunshu's calm voice. It's not a mouse, it's a hamster. Followed by her calm instruction. Staff, please put this hamster away for now. The entire hot spring area fell silent. Lu Xinghe knelt internally. President Lung knows even this? I must be nicer to President Lung. She's too terrifying. However, he immediately thought of something else. I really want to see what President Lung looks like in a swimsuit, a bikini. Suddenly, a thump sound came from next door, as if someone had slipped. The staff were in a panic. President Lung, are you all right? Lung Yunshu's voice, rarely flustered, came through. I'm fine. On the bus ride back, Lin Xiaoyu excitedly reported, the most amazing discovery from this team-building activity. President Lung is simply the god of escape rooms. Colleagues chimed in, President Lung is amazing. It's like she has an all-seeing eye. Lu Xinghe sat in the corner, thinking internally, you have no idea how terrifying President Lung is. She probably even knows what I'm thinking right now. Lung Yinshu suddenly turned her head. Assistant Lu. Lu Xinghe jumped. Yes. You will give the report for next week's departmental review. Lu Xinghe. I'm finished. She can definitely hear. Should I recite the socialist core values in my head? Lung Yinshu looked out the window, the corner of her mouth slightly curved upwards. 8. Annual Meeting Administrative Supervisor Lu Mimi nervously held the proposal. President Lung, this year's annual meeting is scheduled at the Global Hotel. The program includes singing and dancing from the marketing department, crosstalk from the technology department. Lung Yinshu didn't even lift her head. Cancel the lucky draw. Lu Mimi was about to cry. But what employees look forward to most is the $1 million grand prize. Lu Xinghe, who was organizing documents nearby, was thinking wildly internally. Last year, President Lung changed the lucky draw system to the Sunshine Award, a pack of tissues for everyone. And those geeks from the technology department are still complaining on the forums. Lung Yinshu suddenly closed the document. Then, keep the lucky draw. Lu Mimi wept with joy. Thank you, President Lung. I'll go prepare right away. Change the prizes to this. Lung Yinshu pushed a list over. Lu Mimi was instantly petrified after reading it. Lu Xinghe sneaked a glance, and his heart shook internally. Physical copy of the President's Mind-Reading Sweet Wife? E-course on how to get along with Capricorns. High-end hot spring experience coupons? What kind of devilish prize list is this? On the night of the annual meeting, when the marketing department was performing a girl group dance, Manager Zhang suddenly rushed to the front of the stage and did some floor work. The whole audience fell silent. Lu Xinghe covered his eyes and wailed internally. Help! This greasy middle-aged man's horrific pelvic gyrations. Even the cleaning lady is taking out her phone to record the embarrassing moments. Lung Yinshu suddenly pressed the rating device. 0 points. The big screen showed the judges' scores in real time, and Manager Zhang froze on stage. When the technology department performed a crosstalk act, the two programmers forgot their lines, and the stage went cold. Lu Xinghe stamped his foot anxiously. Quick, pick up the quantum fluctuation speed reading joke. Didn't we practice it 20 times during rehearsal? Lung Yinshu suddenly picked up the microphone. Quantum fluctuation speed reading. The programmers on stage were like people granted amnesty. Right. Just like our boss's reading speed. The entire audience burst into laughter. Lu Xinghe's pupils dilated dramatically. So, Lung even know the jokes from the rehearsal. She couldn't have installed wiretaps in the office, could she? When a special prize was announced, Director Wang of the winning finance department looked at the prize description and fell in a thought. How to get along with Capricorns. Course validity. Permanent. Lu Xinghe suppresses laughter until he felt internal pain. Dying of laughter. Who in the whole company doesn't know Director Wang's wife is a Capricorn? CEO Lung's precision strike is comparable to missile targeting. The winner of the second prize, Xiao Zhang from the logistics department, looked at the hot spring voucher and cried out, Why is it a double voucher? I don't have a girlfriend at all. Lung Yinshu calmly added, You can bring your hamster. Entire audience. Lu Xinghe's inner self was on his knees. She knows even this. CEO Lung definitely installed surveillance in the logistics department. Wait, could she actually read minds? The host suddenly announced. Next, let's invite Assistant Lu from the CEO's office to perform a talent. Lu Xinghe. I didn't sign up. It must be that brat Lu Mimi retaliating because I refused her milk tea last time. Lung Yinshu turned to look at him. Not going. Lu Xinghe braced himself. Go. I'll go. Standing on stage, his mind was wildly brainstorming. Sing? Last time at KTV I sang Qinghai Tibet Plateau like a pig being slaughtered. Dance? The trauma of my pants splitting during the University Street Dance Club performance is still there. Still there. Suddenly a flash of inspiration. Right? I can perform that. 5 minutes later, everyone watched in stunned silence as Lu Xinghe performed the printer's symphony using office supplies. The copier was a drum kit, the shredder an electric guitar, and he even pressed the time clock for a beatbox rhythm. Lung Yunshu was the first to applaud. Creativity Award. Just as Lu Xinghe breathed a sigh of relief, he heard her add, "Perform it again at next year's annual meeting." His heart instantly collapsed. No, this creativity was inspired by my 25 years of being single. After the annual meeting, Lu Xinghe was left to organize the prizes. Lung Yunshu suddenly appeared. "Your performance." Lu Xinghe jumped. "It was terrible, right? Next year, I'll definitely." "Very interesting." Lung Yunshu put down her coffee cup. "Better than some people's pelvis dance." Lu Xinghe froze on the spot, fireworks exploding in his heart. "So, Lung praised me? Wait, could she have been possessed by aliens? Or does this mean I'm finally getting a promotion and a raise? Go on a business trip with me to Germany next month." "Okay." Lu Xinghe replied instantly, fireworks continuing in his heart. "Germany. Can eat pork knuckles. Drink beer. Buy Zwilling. No, the point is she's actually taking me on a business trip. Am I finally going to get rid of the errand boy title?" Lung Yunshu walked to the door and suddenly looked back. "Oh, right. Yes, CEO. Stop reading the CEO's mind-reading pampered wife." Lu Xinghe turned to stone on the spot. How did she know I was secretly reading novels in incognito mode in my browser? This woman definitely has telepathy, right? In the first-class cabin, Lu Xinghe sat primly, stealing glances at Lung Yunshu, who was resting with her eyes closed. CEO Lung looks so docile when she's asleep. Her eyelashes are so long. Wait, what am I thinking? Socialist core values, prosperity, democracy, civility, harmony. A flight attendant came pushing a meal cart. "What would you like to drink, sir?" "Coffee, please." "Sugar." Just as Lu Xinghe was about to answer, he suddenly heard Lung Yunshu say with her eyes still closed, "He doesn't take sugar, but he needs double milk." Flight attendant / Lu Xinghe. Lu Xinghe's heart did an internal earthquake. How did she even know my coffee habits? This is absolutely not normal. Did she secretly observe me when I was making coffee? Lung Yunshu slowly opened her eyes. "You always pour creamer twice." Lu Xinghe. She remembers details like that. Could CEO Lung have a secret crush on me? Impossible, impossible. The plane suddenly became turbulent. Lu Xinghe instinctively grabbed the armrest, wailing internally, "I'm finished. I'm finished. I'm most afraid of turbulence. Mom, save me." A slightly cool hand suddenly covered the back of his hand. Lung Yunshu looked straight ahead. "Don't be afraid. It's just turbulence." Lu Xinghe was petrified. How did CEO Lung suddenly become so warm? And that action, that line, it's straight out of an idol drama. On the streets of Munich, Lu Xinghe was walking in circles, holding up his phone for navigation. Why does Google Maps show me needing to go through this wall? Are all Germans wall-penetrating monsters? CEO Lung is probably going to call me directionally challenged again. Lung Yunshu suddenly turned into a small alley. This way. 3 minutes later, they miraculously arrived at their destination. Lu Xinghe was dumbfounded. "CEO Lung, have you been to Germany before?" "First time." "Then how did you—" Lung Yunshu pointed at a sign by the road. The German word Durchgang means passage. Lu Xinghe knelt internally. "I was so caught up thinking about CEO Lung, I forgot to even look at the road signs." During lunch, the waiter enthusiastically recommended, "We have specialty pork knuckle today." Lu Xinghe's eyes lit up. "Here it comes, here it comes. Must-eat German delicacy. I'm ordering the largest portion." Lung Yunshu suddenly spoke. "Give him a normal portion. His stomach wasn't well yesterday." The waiter was touched. "Your wife is so considerate." Lu Xinghe choked and spat out a mouthful of water. Cough, cough, cough. Lung Yunshu calmly wiped the table. The German word partner can refer to a business partner. In the meeting room, the German representative Hans was gushing. "So the price must increase by 15%. Lu Xinghe was sweating with anxiety. This old guy is talking nonsense. International raw material prices have clearly fallen. Does he think we're patsies? Lung Yunshu suddenly pushed a document across. According to London Metal Exchange data, copper prices are down 8% year-on-year. Hans's expression changed. Well, Lu Xinghe cheered internally. Well done. Wait, when did CEO Lung prepare this data? Did she predict the opponent's prediction? When the negotiations reached a stalemate, Hans suddenly switched to speaking German with his colleague. The Chinese don't understand beer brewing. We can just BS them. Lu Xinghe, what kind of bird language is this old guy speaking? No, don't tell me he thinks we don't understand German. Lung Yinshu suddenly retaliated in fluent German. Since your company even fakes the origin of the hops, perhaps we should consider partnering with Belgian manufacturers. All the Germans in the room collectively changed color. On the way back to the hotel, Lu Xinghe was so full of admiration he almost knelt down. CEO Lung, your German is so good. University minor. Then how did you know that? Lung Yunshu said lightly. Lip reading. Lu Xinghe's heart exploded like fireworks. What kind of spy skill is this? Could CEO Lung's real identity be an MSS undercover agent? Late at night, Lu Xinghe was woken by a knock on the door. Opening the door and seeing Lung Yunshu in a bathrobe, he instantly sobered up. Holy crap! Holy crap, what's going on? Is the legendary casting couch scenario about to happen? Should I play hard to get or just lie down? Lung Yunshu frowned. Your room's air conditioning is broken. Huh, I heard a strange noise. Lu Xinghe checked the air conditioning, bewildered. It really isn't cooling. But how did you? Poor soundproofing. Lung Yunshu turned and walked away, moved to the suite next door to mine. Lu Xinghe hugged his pillow, his mind going wild. What is this? Overbearing, CEO-style care? Wait, could she really hear me complaining about the AC through the wall? Then what about me secretly watching mind-reading little sweetheart last night? In the new suite, Lu Xinghe tossed and turned. The bed is too soft. The pillow is too high. Arg, this shower gel is actually the same scent as CEO Lung's. What am I smelling? I'm a pervert. Suddenly received a text message from Lung Yinshu. Breakfast at 7 tomorrow. Attached was a screenshot of the moment's post he had made 3 minutes ago, complaining about the bed being too soft, only visible to himself. Lu Xinghe was so scared he fell directly off the bed. How could she even see this? This isn't mind reading anymore. This must be hacking. In the airport VIP lounge, Lu Xinghe finally mustered the courage. CEO Lung. Are you? Or what? Able to hear what I'm thinking? Lung Yinshu put down her coffee cup and suddenly leaned in. Lu Xinghe instantly held his breath. I'm gonna die this distance. Her eyelashes are so long. Her lips look so soft. Assistant Lu. Lung Yinshu looked directly into his eyes, read less online novels, then turned around and boarded the plane with a flourish. Lu Xinghe froze in place. What kind of answer is that? Is it an admission or a denial? And how did she know I read online novels? Arg, I'm going crazy. As the plane took off, he secretly glanced at the curve of Lung Yunshu's lips. I'm finished. It seems I'm really being manipulated by this devil woman. 10. Protective. Lu Xinghe jogged into the conference room holding a stack of documents, running straight into Finance Director Wang Defe's sinister smile. Little Lu, I hear you're in charge of this quarters report? This old fox's smile is so creepy. Last time he smiled like this, the marketing manager was directly reassigned to manage the warehouse. Lung Yunshu's voice suddenly came from behind. Director Wang, very free? Why don't you first go check the 37 unusual transactions flagged by the Audit Bureau last quarter? Wang Defe's face instantly turned pale. Lu Xinghe was ecstatic inside. Impressive, CEO Lung. Wait, 37 transactions? The audit report clearly only listed 36. Could CEO Lung even know about hidden accounts? The chairman lightly coughed. Regarding the new energy project, some directors have reflected on the investment return rate. Lu Xinghe secretly glanced at Director Li, who was the most strongly opposed. This old man definitely took kickbacks from competitors. Yesterday, his secretary was still sneaking around. Lung Yinshu suddenly opened her folder. Just in time, here are photos of Director Li's secretary receiving gifts in the Four Seasons hotel parking lot yesterday. The projector turned on, and the screen showed Director Li's secretary stuffing a luxury brand bag into the trunk. The entire room fell silent. Lu Xinghe's jaw dropped onto the table. Where did these photos come from? Could President Lung have hired a private detective? Wait, how does she know what I'm thinking? Director Lee slammed the table and stood up. This is slander. Lung Yunshu calmly swiped on her tablet. Need to see the dashcam audio? Director Lee immediately slumped back into his chair. During the break, Lu Xinghe frantically chugged ice water in the pantry to calm his nerves. HR Director Zhang Li leaned over. Little Lu, I heard you're getting promoted? This gossip wants to pry again. Last time it was her who spread rumors about me and President Lung. Director Zhang, Lung Yunshu appeared ghost-like at the doorway. About you using company resources to open a micro store last year. Zhang Li's hand trembled, spilling coffee all over her Hermes scarf. President Lung, I'll go write a self-criticism report right away. Lu Xinghe shrank in the corner, trembling. It's over. She knows too many secrets. It won't be my turn next, will it? The thing about me secretly using the company printer to print doujinshi last week. Lung Yunshu suddenly turned her head. Nice drawing. Huh. The composition on page 18 of The Domineering CEO Fell in Love with Me. Lu Xinghe's mind shattered on the spot. She even knows the page number? I clearly locked that book in the very bottom of the drawer. Towards the end of the meeting, the chairman suddenly called his name. Little Lu, what do you think of this proposal? Lu Xinghe, who was zoning out, jolted. Oh God, I didn't listen at all. Now, I should say, I completely agree with President Lung's opinion. Wait, what did President Lung just say? Lung Yunshu's expression didn't change. Assistant Lu means that we can refer to the Singapore branch model on the premise of guaranteeing a 15% profit margin. The chairman nodded with satisfaction. Very insightful. Lu Xinghe's heart fell to his knees. Is President Lung covering for me? Is she actually a good person? Impossible. This must be a new type of manipulation tactic. After the meeting, the chairman patted Lu Xinghe's shoulder. Good young man, you represent the company at next week's industry summit. Before Lu Xinghe could even feel happy, he heard Lung Yunshu add, remember to wear that navy blue suit. How does she know that suit is my most expensive one? Wait, could it be that every time I change clothes she's... Stop, can't think about it anymore. Working late at night, they were the only two left on the entire floor. Lu Xinghe gathered his courage. President Lung, are you a mind reader? Lung Yunshu put down her pen. What do you think? It's over this distance. Her perfume smells so good. What am I thinking? Quickly recite the 8 honors and 8 shames. Lu Xinghe walked into the president's office with coffee and found Lung Yunshu rarely rubbing her temples. President Lung looks awful today. Could she not have slept well last night? Or was it discovered that I secretly ate the chocolate in her drawer yesterday? Lung Yunshu suddenly looked up. What did you say? Huh, I didn't say anything. President Lung looks really good in black stockings today. Lung Yunshu had no reaction and continued approving documents. Seeing the indifferent Lung Yunshu, Lu Xinghe's mind immediately started wandering. President Lung's waist is so thin, I want to hug it. Her lips are so soft, I want to kiss them. Completely unaware that the tip of Lung Yunshu's pen had already poked through the document. During rush hour, the elevator was packed with people. Lu Xinghe was forced to stand pressed close to Lung Yunshu. Holy crap, this distance. Her hair is brushing against my neck. So fragrant. It's that expensive rose perfume. He secretly glanced down and happened to see Lung Yunshu's collarbone faintly visible between the buttons of her shirt. It's over, I'm going to react. Recite the multiplication table. 1 times 1 is 1. 2 times 1 is 2. The elevator suddenly shook, and Lung Yunshu stumbled into his arms. Lu Xinghe instinctively wrapped his arm around her waist. Careful. Feeling the slender waist beneath his palm instantly, his brain crashed. So thin. So soft. Is this workplace harassment? Will I get fired? But I really want to touch her again. Lung Yunshu suddenly looked up, their noses almost touching. Lu Xinghe stared at the lips so close to him. Will I die if I kiss her? But even dying would be worth it. Just as he leaned down on impulse, ding, the elevator doors opened. All the colleagues from the marketing department stared wide-eyed at their ambiguous posture. Explain. Lung Yunshu threw a surveillance screenshot onto the desk. In the photo, Lu Xinghe's hand was conveniently placed on her hip area. Lu Xinghe frantically waved his hands. That's just the angle. I swear I didn't touch her. Although it really is curvy. Lung Yunshu suddenly narrowed her eyes. Is that so? Tell the truth. Lu Xinghe threw caution to the wind. CEO Lung, your figure is just too good, After a suffocating silence, Lung Yunshu suddenly turned and walked towards the break room. Come in. Lu Xinghe's legs turned to jelly. Is she going to sexually harass me or kill me to silence me? In the small break room, Lung Yunshu locked the door from the inside. Lung Yunshu suddenly grabbed his wrist. Oh, I touched her. I'm holding CEO Lung's hand. Her bra today is... Lung Yunshu's ear tips suddenly turned red. Pervert. Lung Yunshu suddenly stood on her tiptoes and leaned closer. Close your eyes. Think about something else. Her breath, carrying the scent of roses, brushed past his lips. Lu Xinghe tightly closed his eyes. 8 honors and 8 shames. Scientific outlook on development. No, she's all I can think about. At this distance, she's definitely going to kiss me, right? His lips suddenly felt a softness. Lu Xinghe opened his eyes in shock and saw Lung Yunshu's eyelashes up close. When they separated, she licked her lips. I will take responsibility for you. Lu Xinghe's soul left his body. So, my first kiss is gone. Lung Yunshu had already resumed her cold expression. Work overtime tonight. Walking to the door, she added, bring your toothbrush. Lu Xinghe. What is this? A notice for workplace sexual harassment. 10 p.m. in the empty CEO's office. Lu Xinghe stared at the document on the desk, his voice trembling. Informed consent form for physical contact research on quantum entanglement. Is this legal? Lung Yunshu pushed a pen towards him. Article 17, paragraph 3, employees have an obligation to cooperate with the company's research projects. This clause was definitely just made up, right? And why are the contact methods written in such detail? Hand-to-hand contact, 10 minutes. Hugging, 5 minutes. Kiss, 3 minutes. This is basically a dating checklist. The pen was suddenly snatched away. Change your mind. Lung Yunshu unbuttoned her suit jacket with one hand. No. Lu Xinghe snatched the pen back and scribbled his signature. Lung Yunshu's lips curved slightly. Let's begin the experiment. Lu Xinghe cautiously placed his hand on the table. Lung Yunshu placed her hand over his, their fingers interlacing. Help! Her palm is sweating. So even CEO Lung gets nervous? Wait, this position is totally like a couple. Lung Yunshu suddenly frowned. Focus on thinking about one thing. Oh, then think about work. Quarterly reports. CEO Lung's lips are so soft. No, what am I thinking about? Second item, hugging test. Lu Xinghe stood rigidly, feeling Lung Yunshu gently loop her arms around his waist. It's over. My heart is beating so loud she must be able to hear it, right? Her hair brushed against my nose. So fragrant. Lung Yunshu suddenly let out a muffled groan. Stop thinking weird things. I didn't. Just imagine ripping open her suit skirt. Item 3. Lip contact. Lu Xinghe stared at the approaching red lips, suddenly pressing her shoulders. Wait. Since it's scientific research, shouldn't we control variables? For example, he, as if possessed, took off Lung Yunshu's gold-rimmed glasses. The frames will dig in. What am I saying? But President Lung without her glasses looks so easy to bully. The moment their lips met, Lu Xinghe suddenly heard an unfamiliar inner voice. So sweet. Lu Xinghe suddenly opened his eyes wide. Just now was you thinking? Lung Yunshu was uncharacteristically flustered. Experiment paused. Wait, I think I can. Hear President Lung's inner voice. This is unscientific. Lu Xinghe clutched the experimental log. Could there really be quantum entanglement? Lung Yunshu suddenly loosened her tie. Continue. Increase contact area. She directly sat on his lap. Focus on feeling. Lu Xinghe was scared out of his wits. This position is too avant-garde. And why are you on top? Ugh. In that instant, countless inner voices flooded in like a torrent. Idiot. When you sneak glances at me every day. Actually, you're very cute. Lu Xinghe was shocked to discover. When Lung Yunshu's emotions fluctuated, he could hear her intermittent inner voices. And at this moment, he clearly heard a sentence. Like. The next morning, Lu Xinghe, holding a cup of coffee, deliberately swayed in front of Lung Yunshu. President Lung said she likes me yesterday. Snap. Her ears are red. The document was crumpled. So the aloofness was all an act. Lung Yunshu suddenly grabbed his tie. Assistant Lu. Why yes, I'm here. We'll continue the experiment tonight. She lowered her voice. Let's study. If sound can still transmit when the mouth is blocked. Lu Xinghe. I'm finished. I overplay my hand. 11. Sweetness. In the gloomy archive room, Lung Yunshu locked the door behind her. Explain? Lu Xinghe braced himself. I was just curious. Why you can read minds? That's not what I'm asking about. Lung Yunshu closed in. Why were you imagining me in a maid outfit this morning? I'm finished. I'm finished. She heard everything. Wait. Now I can read minds in reverse. The advantage is mine. He emboldened himself and counterattacked. Then why were you imagining? Yesterday? Lung Yunshu's pupils suddenly contracted. Huh. Counterattack successful. Wait, why is she unbuttoning? Since we can read each other, Lung Yunshu tore open the first button. Why not communicate honestly? As the second button flew off, the archive room suddenly lost power. In the darkness, Lu Xinghe was pushed against the archive shelves, and panting sounded in his ear. Now, who can hear whom? President Lung. Isn't this a bit too much? Scientific necessity. Lung Yunshu grabbed his hand and pressed it against her chest, record the heart rate. Intense vibrations came from his palm. 120 BPM. So you were also nervous? Suddenly heard a clear inner voice. Idiot. You were clearly the one who teased me first. Inspiration struck Lu Xinghe, and he suddenly lowered his head to her ear. And do you like it? Like. The moment he captured this inner voice, Lu Xinghe finally made his move. Strange. Where's the archives key? Director Zhang's voice approached from a distance. The overlapping figures on the shelf froze simultaneously. Lung Yunshu, let go. Lu Xinghe, you're the one holding my tie? Amidst the sound of the lock turning, the two awkwardly hid in the innermost archive cabinet. In a cramped space, Lung Yunshu was forced to sit astride his lap. This position will definitely be found out. As the flashlight beam swept past, Lu Xinghe suddenly pressed the back of Lung Yunshu's head into his shoulder. Director Zhang muttered, "Why did the power trip?" And his footsteps gradually receded. After confirming it was safe, neither of them moved. Lu Xinghe's atoms apple-bobbed. Still want to measure heartbeats. Lung Yunshu suddenly bit his ear. Measure something else? Wait, this feeling. Is this what research needs are for? In the darkness, the sound of a metal buckle springing open was heard. President Lung, the door isn't locked. Call me Yunshu. After locking the door, just as Lu Xinghe finally turned the tables, he suddenly heard a tearful inner voice. Lighter. The next morning, Director Zhang looked at the archives room in shock. Who knocked over the archive shelf for the MK-071 project? And spilled coffee. Wait, this. While the entire company was spreading rumors about the archives being haunted last night, Lu Xinghe was secretly rubbing Lung Yunshu's waist. Does it hurt? Shut up. It's all your fault. Lu Xinghe smiled and kissed her hair whirl. Research again tonight? Hearing this, Lung Yunshu, with a blushing face, fiercely pinched Lu Xinghe's thigh.